The focus of this video will be an introduction from the contractor's point of view into VPO and how they can find their way about different modules and views throughout VPO. To start off, VPO stands for Virtual Project Office, and it's the location in which Simplus stores all documentation relating to projects such as submittals, RFIs, correspondence, schedules, everything that you would really come across throughout the life of a project should be stored in VPO. And for contractors that are not familiar, this is a home page in which they'll have different modules across the top here. So we'll go through each one of those briefly and show you, the contractor, exactly what you have viewing accesses to and what you have edit access to. So the first one we'll start with is the calendars, and you basically have a calendar view, which is similar to Microsoft Outlook, in which you can get an idea of any upcoming meetings or events or anything of any significance to the project. If you go to the calendar statement of calendar days and get into the contract statement of calendar days here, you'll see a list of items here, everything from milestones, completion dates, inclement weather, etc. So if you need to print anything out like that, you can go up to the print option here. This will give you a few different options. If you just want the simple I guess high-level view of how far we are in the project, days elapsed, milestones, things like that. The statement of calendar days by itself will give you that view, which is just, this simple text here. If you're looking for a detailed graph of what days are approved for inclement weather or anything like that, you can go to the statement of calendar days /weather, and this will give you a view that both has all the important dates such as milestones, completion dates, all that stuff that we just showed you, but it'll also show you a list of all the inclement weather dates, notes to each of those dates, etc. So the next module here at the top would be the directory, and as you can imagine, this is just a simple list of all the project contacts, phone numbers, emails, companies. You can sort these by different views. So this is clearly your directory by role. You got your CM, your consultants, your contractors, engineers, etc. If you want to arrange any of these contacts by first name or last name, you can simply click on the heading above it, above that column. If you click on just simple directory up here, that'll give you a list of everybody not really sorted. Again, you can sort by company or any of these other column headings at the top. So that's the directory. Project workflows. A workflow is anything that really needs some kind of review or response. So under the project workflows, we have our daily reports, which is important for the contractor to obviously submit their dailies. We'll also include the weekly BMP inspections and under the daily reports. There's a future video on that if you haven't seen it yet, so that goes into more detail. Another detailed video that the contractor should watch would be the inspections and testing. It shows the contractor how to get into the inspections and testing module and go about, creating new inspection requests and everything like that. The issues, this acts as an old or new business item in each of our weekly meetings. So this, if you have a question on anything that's going on out in the field, you can look either under the discussion history or the latest discussion action item columns here. And again, similar to the other modules, you can sort this by active issues. You can sort it by ball and court issues if you want to find out what you need to take care of that's out in the field. The ball and court view is pretty handy for that. So that'll tell you what you need to address. The next one would be non-compliance notices. The contractor does have access to this if they want to view any non-compliance notices that may be open or not started or deferred or anything like that. Punch lists. Obviously list a punch list if the contractor wants to take a look at this. Again, they can do any printing of items or anything like that by selecting the list option here at the top and just selecting the print button here. After punch lists would be the RFIs. There is a detailed video on RFIs and how the contractor can go about submitting those. We'll quickly get into the RFIs. Currently it shows no open RFIs, but again, these views up at the top, click on all RFIs, you can see anything that's anything that's been submitted through the project. Again, this will be open, which there are none. And then there's several other views. If you click on the ellipsis, closed last 7 days, things like that. So that's the RFIs. Risks we don't really use in VPO. The submittals, there is a detailed video on submittals and how the contractor would go about processing those. Again, you can sort any submittals by the views here at the top or by the heading columns. So if you want to look for all approved submittals, just click on the view here and it'll give you a list of all the approved so far. Again, the ellipsis has additional views if there's anything that you'd rather sort your information by. Okay, that covers the project workflows. The contracts module, the contractor won't have any editing access rights to these. If you want to get into the contract and just see what there is to view, it's pretty basic contract information. Any change orders, work certified through pay apps, original contract costs, things like that. You'll also see a schedule of values, which comes straight from the bid schedule. You can see a list of potential change orders and also change orders approved to date. So you can close out of that. That covers the contracts management module. If you want to see any specific pay apps, you can click on the pay apps drop down. Again, any of these views you can sort per your preference. If you want to look at any specific details on items you may have got paid for in previous months, this is where you could do that. You won't have any edit rights, so don't expect to be able to change anything within the pay application modules. Change order reports simply takes you to change orders, whether they're open. You can click on the approved change orders to see anything that's already been approved. PCO reports, this would give you a list of all potential change items that have been approved to date. You can go to click all CORs. You can view it by discussion, which will give you, latest discussion, action items, etc. And then a schedule of values report, which you could basically print out. And again, that would be similar to the schedule of values taken directly from the bid schedule. The next module would be documents. The approved packages we don't really use it would be similar to, just going to the submittals module and finding out what is approved. Bulletins, certificates of insurance. This is where you could upload any insurance certificates, drawings, general documents. If you have any letters that you want to provide to the county, you can do that under the letters and notices section here. If you want to look back at previous meeting minutes, you can find that under the documents module. The meeting minutes will be sorted out under this module. You can just click on any one of the items, and then the attachments should be under that weekly minute. And that goes similar with any specialty meeting minutes that may have occurred as well. Notebook we don't really use. Photos is just a list of photos that have been taken throughout the life of the project. One of the views that is helpful if you're looking for what may have occurred in a specific month is this calendar view. The construction manager will be editing titles of photos, so if you want to go back to June and see what items the contractor is working for in June, simply click that month. You can click calendar and expand all, and then you can tell by some of these they're obviously working on manifold or LFG headers, things like that. So that's useful in finding activities that were completed during certain months. Schedule we don't often use, being that schedules are provided as submittals. So if you're looking for a schedule or any comments or anything like that, you can go back to the submittals section and find it there. And the support module you will not be using, that's Simplus. If there's any issues, you could email Simplus and we'll put in a support ticket for you to address any issues you're having. And then a recents tab, which would basically be anything you've recently gone to. So that's the high-level view of VPO and what modules the contractor will have access to as far as editing or viewing rights in each of these modules.